Okay, when you start doing this to a sports book, they will want to cut you off. As long as you are taking advantage of this, they will try and cut you off. They will limit you. And these are the things that they do not want you to do, which means these are the things that you need to be doing in order to beat the sports book. I'm going to discuss three of those things right now. And for you as a sports bettor, if you're not already doing these things, this is what you need to do. By the way, congratulations to the Dodgers. Today was their parade. Congratulations to the World Series champs of 2023-2024 season. Now, let's talk about what you need to do that the sports books hate to see you do. And you may be doing this already, but this is something that if you can hone in on this, if you can focus on this, if you can get good at these things, you will start to beat the sports book more consistently. And the reason why is because this is where they don't have the best edge. And your goal in beating the sports book is to take away their edge. When you take away their edge, they will, lose more, and you'll start winning more. You're gaining that edge back. You won't win all your games. That's not what it's about. It's about getting that edge back from the sports book. Number one, the thing that you need to start doing is bet early lines. This is one of the things that sports books hate. So this is something that you've got to do. When I have my account, and as you guys know, I work with a lot of sharp sports bettors. And, when we hit these lines early, often in all sports, whether it's basketball, football, doesn't matter the sport. When we hit these lines early, these sports books know it. They see the line move. And, then they're always like, all right, you cannot bet all these days in advance. They cut it down to literally like 3 hours before the game. And that is something that, if you're doing that, you're constantly beating. This is how you beat the closing line. This is getting closing line value. So betting the lines early, right when they come out, or the next day that they come out, you need to be doing your research about these teams, how you want to bet them. And a lot of people try and think that there's a lot of changes within that week. Yes, maybe, but you are still able to get a good line, on these teams when you bet the line early. You might miss one. It might go in the opposite direction that you choose, but that's how you continue to adjust your game. And that's how sharps play. We bet the lines early to catch closing line value. So every time you do that, you are taking away the edge from the sports book. That is what you want to focus on. Number two, a lot of people are already doing this, but one of the things is that they don't realize that that this is something that the sports books actually hate. Why? Because everybody's doing it, but unfortunately, a lot of people are not actually beating it. And there could be some reasons. Actually, maybe a lot of people are. Maybe you are actually. And what that is player props. This is very popular amongst sports bettors these days, especially the young sports bettors. They try to put parlays together, which is the reason that it kills their wins. And maybe they put parlays because this, player props is one of the things that sports books hate. So what they do is they offer it, but they always offer it on a lower limit. So I got accounts that have 10K max bet, 5K max bet, 2K max bet, but on the player props, they'll limit it to 100, 200, and it's like 250 max if I'm lucky, and they know that we can really kill those player props. So from the standpoint of doing the research versus and taking the time to play those props versus allowing ourselves to do the research on a total or spread or money line plays that will allow us to bet 10,000, 5,000 per game versus 100, 250 per player prop. it just doesn't make sense to focus on player props. But when you are getting started, that is like one thing. And there's other guys, the other sharps that I work with that focus strictly on player props. They know they're very limited in where they can play and the amounts that they can play, but still it's great. They focus on that, and I work with those guys. And so with that, we work together, right? So a guy focuses on player props, another guy focuses on the spread, and so we're able to put in large bets and small bets all together. But the problem, I know a lot of guys are playing player props, but unfortunately, you guys are putting them in parlays, trying to get 3 player props to get like $50 to win $500. Don't do that. That's the problem. All you need to do is bet 100 to win maybe $97, or like $110 to win $100, something like that. Take those player props, do multiples of them all straight, and you'll see you're going to keep hacking away at the sports book. You'll start winning those bets, and that's the way to play player props, not in parlays, guys. That's not the way to do it, okay? So those are 2 great things that sports books hate for you to do. So that's why you have to keep doing that. And guys, if you're enjoying this content, please consider subscribing, liking, and following me on Twitter, because I share this kind of stuff all the time through my YouTube channel, also through TikTok, which you'll find the link down below. Now, the last thing that I'm going to talk about, that maybe you're not doing this because this is very counterintuitive, and there's also not too many opportunities to do this, but I do see it. And when we do it, the sports book is like, what are you doing here? Like, they notice it and they kind of don't like it, but you can do this with 2 sports books, but sometimes you could do it with 1. And that's when they'll notice it, because if you do it with 2 sports books, they won't know. And what that is ARB betting, arbitrage betting. In other words, that's middling, right? So you can do middling when it comes to pregame and live. You can actually do that, and that's a great way to, not necessarily hedge your bet, but guarantee yourself a win. Guarantee yourself a win, dude. That's something that is great. You guarantee yourself free money. That's perfect. And actually, you can probably even guarantee yourself double money, depending on where the lines land, right? So that's one thing, arbitrage betting. It's not always there, but it is there, and I've done it before. And a lot of people, they bet and to watch the game and to enjoy the game. If you middle, or if you are bet, you are not necessarily cheering for anyone. You're cheering to land the spread between 2 numbers, or the total between 2 numbers, and it happens. And when it happens, wow, that's awesome. But to kind of push, or just not lose anything, or double your money, wow, that's beautiful. That's something that maybe not everybody can see. And if you're very diligent on your sports book, and you could find that you got a number at pregame, and then you got a new number at live, that's great. You can actually do this if you bet early. You can also flip it later, and you can get that other number. So that's just some food for thought that you can do. But those are things that sportsbook hate. They hate to see you bet both sides, because they think that you're taking advantage of them. And when you play only all props and you hitting all these props, they think you're taking advantage of them. When you're beating the closing line, when you're betting early, they think you're taking advantage of them. And that is the goal when it comes to sports betting. You want to take advantage of these sportsbook at their weakest point. And that's the one thing that you need to change about your betting in order for you to gain more wins in the sports book. My name is Ken. This is Bettor Culture. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to get some of the plays from one of my partners, I'm going to put the link down below. Just click on that and enter your email, and you'll get directed to his free plays that he shares with me, that he shares with everyone else. This is Ken with Bettor Culture. Thank you guys for watching.